Cardano with a little bit of a dip today on one of its most bullish days of the year. The Merry hard fork coming to mainnet for this top 3 cryptocurrency. Is there more room for downside, and should you be worried? What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit that like, hit that subscribe on the way in. Let's jump into the Cardano video. I'm going to break down these charts so you can visualize, so you can understand, so you can see and anticipate every scenario so you're well prepared. Let's jump in. This is the daily chart. It doesn't even look that crazy, but it's kind of like we just came off of like a $1.50 euphoric swing high, all-time high for Cardano, bouncing around $1.30. Now we're down $1.24 as I do this video. What is going on? Before we talk about this daily chart, let's break down the story here. This was from yesterday, and I'm not going to show a clip, but you can, if we zoom in here, you see that green rectangle here in the middle of the screen. That was anticipated resistance. It's a Fibonacci resistance channel, and this is how it played out on the hourly chart. We were looking for pretty much hourly closes above that resistance channel, really up to $1.29, $1.30, and it just didn't happen. We had one nice run through, and it just immediately failed back down, and we just keep getting rejected off of that entire Fibonacci retracement channel, which is as anticipated. It's a resistance channel. We were looking for this bullish move for Cardano, which would be a bunch of hourly closes, higher highs and higher lows above. It just didn't play out that way. But let's talk about this now. This is the 6-hour chart. This is kind of the story being told in this new recent consolidation, and this is consolidation. It's upward action, higher highs and higher lows, a rising channel of sorts, starting kind of, beginning of February, first week of February or so. And this is just really what Cardano has been doing ever since like 5 cents, 10 cents. We get these sideways consolidations, and then we get the breakout. We get the sideways consolidation and the breakout. Now we're in a sideways consolidation, even though it's not that sideways. This is a bunch of higher highs and higher lows on the 6-hour. One thing to note on this chart is this. You can look at the left of the screen back here. In this consolidation, we had one starting touch, we had two, we had three, we had four, we had five, a bunch of touches at the bottom trend line. This time around, we had one very quick wick right there, and then we had 1, 2. So not a lot of touches, not a lot of consolidation down here at this lower trend line. And so it is just obvious to utilize a little bit of wisdom that suggests a third touch in this area is very much possible. I'm not sitting here saying it's going to happen, but there's a huge case for it to happen. That's in that dollar area to the downside. So I want to discuss that and what that might look like. Either way, we're kind of looking for this next consolidation for Cardano in this series of higher highs and higher lows, because right now we're just in the middle of this entire rising channel. So the question is, are we going to be testing the $1.50 area again at the upper trend line, or the dollar area there at the lower trend line? And we go into an hourly chart, and we can start getting some clues. And just to give you an idea, these recent swing lows on this rising channel that Cardano was falling into, it took some time for this entire thing to play out. And ultimately, there were points where it was a little scary, right? Coming down here in the 70-cent area after hitting basically $1. That's a huge swing low. Same thing here, hitting $1.20, and then boom, all the way down to that 80-cent area. Huge swing low each time, and this took around 6 days right here before finally getting a breakout. This took around 5 days before finally getting a breakout. And now this time, from this swing high, all-time high, we're only probably a couple days in, right? To give you an idea, 5 days is out here, and that would be March 4th area. Now, my point is this: give Cardano some time for consolidation. If we get a breakout out of this extremely short-term triangle that you see on the screen to the upside, fantastic. That would be amazing, right? But give room for consolidation and give room for dips and give mental room for dips. Be prepared for that. To give you an idea, that first dip from that swing high of this rising channel was around 30%. The second dip, which really was not that long ago, February 20th, around 31%. Now, a dip like this, so far, right now as I do this video, we're down around 16%. But a dip to the lower trend line, again, around 30%. So this just happened twice in like a month. So you have to sit there and be like, okay, this could happen again. And we're going to look at a bullish breakout as well, but this is what it will look like. And the setup is there. The storyline is written for this to happen. So be prepared for the dollar range, 95 cents to $1 range. Just be prepared for it. This is what it looks like on the screen. Breakout to the upside. I don't know what happened to this target to the upside, but that breakout to the upside is right around $1.70 out of this symmetrical triangle into the downside, right in that 95 range. So 95 to $1 support area for Cardano. But I want to just say this. We're at the lower trend line right now. Be very mindful. And I talked about this in a Bitcoin video, and the exact thing played out right after I talked about it. Be mindful of when you get a breakout to the downside, don't, and some people use that as a confirmation, just the initial break through the trend line. That's bearish confirmation for some people. For me, I always wait for pullbacks because they happen so often. To the upside, we'd be waiting for a throwback to the apex. So be very careful if we get a break to the downside that Cardano doesn't get scooped up real quick and we're boom right back in the apex. This could turn out to be a busted symmetrical triangle. We talk about it a lot. We track them all the time on this YouTube channel. They happen often. So be careful for that. But we're really at the apex now of the symmetrical triangle. I think the next 12 hours to 24 hours are going to be really crucial for Cardano in terms of its next move. But again, if we go back and we look at this chart, give it some time, right? Give it a couple days, even if that means extreme volatility to the downside. A wick below that trend line, it's that 95 cent area, potentially could happen, could potentially be in play. What occurred back here, in hindsight, is extraordinarily bullish for Cardano when you look at that. That is accumulation happening. And if we get another scenario where we get to view something like that, that is an actually really bullish thing. And if we're going over here now to the daily chart and we're looking at continued consolidation, if it were to happen for Cardano, this allows the 50-day moving average to continue to get pulled up and get a little closer to where Cardano is. Because right now, Cardano from that 50-day moving average is overextended around 82%. Now, it hasn't been that overextended in these recent consolidation areas. And that's a healthy thing when it's not overextended as much. So point is, if it does dip a little bit, I'm saying it's not a bad thing. Could be a very big opportunity for a lot of people. But if we're going back to this hourly chart now, in the hours ahead, this could potentially play out. It's something to track. A bounce off of this lower trend line, moving up to this upper trend line. This upper trend line resistance is still in that $1.30 range. It's around, $1.33, I would say, in this very hour that we're in. But really, $1.30 to $1.33, extreme resistance for Cardano. Even if we make a little bit of a run and you see it at $1.28, that's not necessarily very bullish in terms of Cardano making a run to that area. It's maybe a 5% run to the upside. If you start seeing it continue, breaking $1.33, we could have a bull run on the short term in play for Cardano. And the target out of the symmetrical triangle to the upside is around $1.70. But again, we're at this lower trend line. Markets are iffy right now. You want to anticipate downside as well. So I wanted to break down those charts for you for Cardano. We've been tracking it a lot on this channel, and there could be a lot of opportunity for accumulation ahead if this continues to downside. So keep track. Let me know how you're handling out there. I appreciate all of you cruising by. If you're a new subscriber, I appreciate you. Hit that like, hit the subscribe, turn the notification bells on. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.